Hi. Psychic Frank's Mystery School is in session. Psychic Frank apostrophe S Mystery School is the YouTube channel. If you want to email me, it's psychicfrank@gmail.com. This is Gabby, my parrot. And breaking news. SF Commons, San Francisco people are going back in the studio. It's on 9th Street, between just before Howard, on 9th, between Mission and Howard. It's the International Film Institute. That's where Bayvac is relocated, where the SF Commons is coming out of. And I'm back. I'm going back. So I'll be back next Friday, the 11th, because today I'm taping this Friday, the 4th of October. And then so on the 11th, next Friday, Pluto goes direct, 5:34 p.m. And it just happens that's when I'll be in the studio getting things ready. There's a green screen, so they'll put some scenery behind me, I guess. I don't know, it's all new. I don't know how they're going to work out the logistics, so my new show, I'll still be 7:30 Saturday nights on Channel 29, but I'll be taping my shows Friday late afternoon, twice a month. So, and Javon will, he says the phone's on, they don't have the phone hookup like they used to, but he says we can do that with YouTube. But I told him, just take care of all that, thank you, and I'll just show up. So my first live show down in the studio will be on the 18th, Friday the 18th, in the afternoon. And if you want any details, get a hold of SF Commons and ask for Javon. Or there's Clay Ho. Very helpful guys there. Okay, so that's what's going on there. And yeah, Pluto's going direct. Okay, picture this. Gabby, yes, we're busy right now, darling. Yes, so this is Gabby's last show. Yeah, from now on, just be memories of when you had to tolerate. I know not everybody's in love with the sound of Gabby's voice. I am, except when she's upstaging me. But, yeah, she's had a nice run. Yeah, she'll be good to get me out of the house a couple of hours every Friday. The Fridays I'm down at the studio. Yeah, so October 19th, Tuesday, 12:29 p.m., Pluto enters Aquarius. No, Pluto doesn't enter Aquarius until let me get my little ephemeris here. Okay, here's the thing here's the dish with Pluto, the planet of death, destruction, and rebirth. 08, Pluto entered 0 Capricorn, and right now Pluto is once again ready to go direct in a couple of days. 29 degrees Capricorn. So we've had our Pluto exact return. Our Pluto, the United States of America's Pluto, is in the money house, retrograde, past karma there. Anyway, that happened now. Pluto went back and forth for a couple of years there, and now, of course, Pluto moves like molasses on a cold winter's day, very slow. These dynamic changes, paradigm shifts. Yeah, Gabby, we're busy now, honey. And now Pluto's not exactly, Pluto is over. Pluto return is over. Now, we're going to see now Pluto goes direct, as I said, on the 11th, and that's going to be 29 degrees Capricorn. And then it's going to be November 20th, Pluto enters Aquarius for the long haul, for 20 years. We're going to have Pluto in Aquarius. That hasn't happened for 560-something years, and nothing even remotely resembles what it used to look like when Pluto gets through with it. And as I said, so what's going to happen now? Pluto will reveal vulnerabilities, supreme ruler, and misuse of power. You know, this is all we ain't heard anything yet. And after I don't want people to assume Donald Trump is going to lose. I mean, but let's face it, he is. And that's when it's going to get really heated up until the spring. Because, as I said, when Pluto, once he's the election's over, and President Harris and Waltz are president, vice president, Jack Smith can get into, full speed ahead with treason. Oh, there's so much. If I were Ivana and Jared Kushner there, I'd be making plans to leave the country, because they don't want to be around when they find out the Saudis, their relationship to the Saudis and the secret documents. Oh, who knows? Who knows? We're all going to find out, though. Who knows? I like, Joy Behar, the View. For years, her thing, years ago when she was a stand-up comic, would be, so what? Who cares? This is what Donald Trump's now stealing lines from Joy. Because he's saying now, so what? Who cares? I love that. And I actually watched The View this morning, a little bit of it, and Joy said, she had to take credit for that. That's her baby. So what? Who cares? Okay, so, that's it. Look up at the sky. Everything else is just the weather, It's blue skies, nothing but blue skies, but the weather, the paradigms are shifting. It's not like in the movies, you go from one clip to the next. No, we're living the part that ends up on the cutting room floor. What's going to happen now, while Pluto's retrograde in Capricorn until November 20th, when it enters Aquarius, we're going to see all kinds of heinous crimes. Hey, Gabby! Oh, you be careful there. Yes, oh, you doing your stretches. So this is really a show about Gabby, because if you're really into astrology, I tell you, there's get on YouTube. There's Pam Gregory, and there's this guy Christopher Reinhardt or something. I mean, he's amazing. I just found him a couple of weeks ago. I can't get over. Wow, blows my mind. So if you're really as fascinated with astrology as I am, I'm a psychic healer who's God picked to channel me to do this healing energy through his, God's energy goes flowing through me. And I use numerology and astrology as a tool for doing what I do. And I was just looking here at something. Okay, so as I said, what we're doing now is so that's really it. I mean, this whole thing going on with, as I said, we have. Yes, as I said, I wrote down. Oh yeah, big news too. All these breaking news. The mountain astrologer, been around for decades, is no longer in existence. It's over. It's done. And I used to see it on the racks at Rainbow Grocery, and my subscription ended in September. So the good news is I didn't lose any money. If there's any good news, they were. Who knows? But anyway, they're over now. So I've never done a show without the Mountain Astrologer in my hand, and I picked out articles and their charts. I've become used to it. Hey, little baby girl. Okay, we're busy now, Gabby. No, she wants to come over here. Gabby, this is my last show, Frank. This is my last show. Let me go say hello to the people and say thank you. Okay, honey. Oh, you're the baby. Yes, you are. You're the sweetheart. Okay, say goodbye to everybody and say thank you. It's been a lot of fun. It was a good rain. You're the queen of Octavia Street. Okay, is this better now? Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Say goodbye now. Oh. Yes, you're just a lovebird. Yes, this is your show, Gabby. Yeah, from now on, I'm gonna be down in the studio doing this. No other birds, though. Yeah. Okay, you gotta go back to your house now. Okay, we'll play later. All right. Okay. Yeah. So it's been since I've been doing the shows out of my apartment since the before the epidemic shut down. Oh boy. Oh, excuse me. Gabby got all excited. Okay, so now that Gabby's all out of the way, yeah, so this is the last time you'll be hearing that screeching sound that I personally adore. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so what's going on now? Okay, October 24. October of 24. May, June, July, August, September, October. Okay, as I said, Venus will be entering. She brings a sweet time with her wherever she goes around the wheel. And let me see now. Yeah, on uh, Thursday, the 17th of this month, October, which, by the way, for the United States of America is an 11 month. America's in a 1 year, and our years go from spring to spring. A lot of us, we're all old souls, I believe. Well, a lot of us. And January 1st is not the new year. It's the autumn. It's the winter solstice there. No, this is Venus enters Sag. She's in Scorpio until then. Right now, she's in Scorpio as we speak. And then the moon will be in Taurus 3 o'clock that same day. So there's a lot of interesting things going on with Venus and his opposition to. No, it's not an opposition, but Venus in fiery Sag. Uh, anything with Scorpio is intense. Like Gabby, she's intense. She's an intense bird. I mean, she's like intense. There's no other word for it. She's just I guess it's just the way she is. I don't know. I just accepted it. I'm an intense guy too. Okay, intensity. We try to steer away from that. Okay, so Jupiter's going retrograde on the 9th. As I said, listen to Pam Gregory. There's so many Pathy Rose. I mean, they explain all this stuff. I'm going to use this last show now just to explain that the big thing is. Two big astrological things, and the rest is all going to be purging, and it's going to be literally one goddamn thing after another. Uh, Years ago, the New Yorker magazine used to be like that thick, and I remember in the doctor's office, you just listened to all the cartoons, and now it's like this big. And there was this, never forget it, I was in a doctor's office in New York City. I think it was on Park Avenue. Yeah, I had it. Even though I worked at Saudi's, whenever I was sick, somebody said, "Oh, go to my doctor and tell him I sent you." And there was this Dr. Good Kid on Park Avenue in the 50s. And he never even charged me. That's back in the 60s. That was back in the 60s. So I don't know why I got off on that. Yeah. So anyway, I went into a little time tunnel there. Okay. So on October 6th, the square between Mercury and Mars will be exact. Venus reaches the exact trine. Don't just talk about your plans. This is a time to execute plans now. That's pretty the reason I look hindsight now why I made the decision to go back into the. It was the hand of fate guiding me there, but for the most part, it was time. It's time for me because what's good of being a psychic if I'm not doing readings for anybody. I really miss that, because I'm really good with perfect strangers. It's really a challenge for me when I know people and they want a reading for me because, I have an objective, because I know them or something, That's why politically it's hard to be non-objective with myself, what's going on. But so the big deal now, but before we get away from all this is... Pluto's going to, I told you, in Capricorn now. And it's retrograde until backs up from Aquarius to Capricorn, where it's 29 again, where it's been before, and we're going to see a lot of nasty Plutos. Talk about sludge and smelly slime. Heinous. Is that it? H-E-I-N-S. Heinous. Yeah, heinous, despicable things are going to start coming up past the election too, until the middle of November, when Pluto enters Aquarius for the long haul, the big 20-year thing, and so that's a big thing now. You want to keep that in mind. That's the 900-pound gorilla in the room for this whole next year, and until 2026, it's going to be February of 2026. Neptune, higher consciousness, spirituality, changes sides every 70 something years, 80 years. Will enter Aries, and Saturn changes sides every 30 years. It'll enter enter Aries. And that's going to be a new, and keep in mind then, Pluto and Aquarius will have really set in then. No one's going to be left out. I'm totally using my imagination to believe that it's going to be a one mind. And the only aristocracy will be the aristocracy of consciousness. It's no more, we're now talking about, finally, what's his name? Joe Biden admits that trickle-down economy doesn't work. I'd go so far as, I wish they would stop these ads. There's this one ad I watch about DeSantis, and it's on a lefty station, so you'd be surprised how they're using anti-DeSantis, which is who's for him, really. But they're using it on all these great presidents, great Republican presidents, and they go, Eisenhower, he was the best, I believe. It all went downhill after that. But then they have a picture of Ronald Reagan when we really needed a president. We didn't need Ronald Reagan. The upper class, the 1%, needed Ronald Reagan because after civil rights and the women's movement and everything was happening, the middle class was thriving. It was up and running. And that scared the bejesus out of... Gabby, we're busy. That scared the bejesus out of them. So that they needed Ronald Reagan. They need somebody who could really get into the minds of the brainwashed World War II veterans. Well, the rest... There's all these great books now that explain this all. The one just came out by Brill, this guy named Brill, about exactly what went down. And I was reading it, and I said, well, I don't have to talk about this anymore. It's called something about the end of truth. I have it written down here somewhere. This I just got the other day, and the psychosis of whiteness. And it can apply to the 60s, too, because so many hippies, as I said, I'll say it again, when I was doing this show, I started 13, 14 years ago, I said to a then friend of mine, who since, inherited a whole bunch of money and went, that's what happens, they disappear. They disappear once they come into all this money. Money changes everything. I tell you, money changes everything. And I said, I had to come up with a name for my SF Carmen show, and I said, oh, it's easy, a no-brainer, the hippie healer. And he said, oh, Frank, don't say that about yourself. Well, he's no longer in my life, and I'm out now. I'm not hiding it anymore. Years ago, a couple of years ago, I was still shopping at Costco, because I was, when you're hungry, you'll take whatever you can get. And I was, this friend of mine lives right across the street from Costco, and she would take me shopping there, and I was picking out. I was like, this vegan butter I like. You could get 3 times as much for what I was getting for. I was paying for it at Rainbow Grocery, and I was picking it and went to reach it, and somebody recognized me from doing those TV shows and said, "Frank, you're in Costco," and wow. It took me 3 years for that to sink in, and then I realized, what kind of a hypocrite are you, Frank? You know, you know, you can't change anything, but you can change where I'm spending my money. And you know, since then, you know, I haven't starved to death. I haven't changed anything. You know, the universe is my source. It takes all these different forms, and I'm beautiful forms. Yeah, so these are the desire to criticize could be pronounced. I couldn't even say the word pronounced. Pronounced. Take time before you judge. Keep your thoughts and words in check. Yeah, you know, words cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. And when you're fighting a monster, it's so key not to become a monster yourself. And then there's another great book here. That I'm reading. Here it is. Oh, this is beautiful. I just picked it up. Healing resistance, a radically different response to harm. As I said, I'm all about harm reduction. I don't think they get into the harm reduction with cannabis, but it says, my life and training in the nonviolent legacy of Dr. King, forward by Dr. Bernard Lafayette Jr. and David A. Jensen or something. Yeah, I'm just thumbed through it. I've really got to own a copy of this. It's really contradicting truths. You know, war is the way we're going to find peace. No, that's what we're teaching now. You know, I'm reading this and that sense about, you know, we're still in that, the way we're going to find peace is through war. No, war is not the answer. Trigger happy policeman. Marvin Gaye said it all. You know, so this is a beautiful book, and he really talks about going through a self purification. It's just a beautiful book. He's just, as I said, I'll probably, as I said, I wanted to just mention this because hopefully when I get into the studio, there'll be a lot. I'll be doing live readings, and I won't have time to spend all this time now. So I think this is interesting how this is the name of the book, and he even talks about. Let me see. Violence, despite the countless ways in which it has destroyed lives and community, despite the dignity that it rips away from people, despite the perpetual and cynical nature in which it continues to harm society, is constantly justified and excused as acceptable behavior and even admirable behavior. Its tentacles stretched to every aspect of our lives. It's in our homes, our work, our sports, our music, our children's toys. Without knowing it, we have been trained to respond to conflict with violence. We view nonviolence as the opposite of violence, but but as its antidote. Nonviolence is about resisting the nature of violence and healing from its impact. Nonviolence challenges the seemingly peaceful, quote-unquote, nature of unjust conditions. When we are sold a story that war is an effective path to peace, we must resist the narrative. We must rebel. Yeah, that's it. That's the sentence I was looking for. When we are sold a story that war is an effective path to peace, we must resist its narrative. We must rebel. R-E-B-E-L. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested for being a troublemaker. Socrates was convicted of stirring up doubt in the minds of young people. Jesus was crucified for speaking out against the dominant paradigm. That's what's changing now, the paradigm. Nothing's going to resemble what it used to look like, and that's what's happening now. There's more light. The CMEs, coronal massive ejections off the sun, are emitting. It's been 12,000 years, give or take 500. since since so much light has been permeating the earth, carrying eons of wisdom. Yeah, unless if you're trying to fight them off, you're going to be stressed out. Accept them and know they're a good thing. They're lighting up your soul. They said you could hide behind anger, but your real radiance is going to come out. You can't hide your radiance behind anger. That's what's happening now. Yeah, healing resistance continues. Yeah, this is just a forward of this. This is just a forward of this. Yeah, and then, as I said, it goes on and on about 6 principles of nonviolence. Nonviolence is a way of life for courageous people. The beloved community is the framework of the future. Attack forces of evil, not persons doing evil. Wow, that's a big one. Boy, this city, San Francisco, needs to, with Brooke Jenkins there, you know. The war on poverty has become the war on the poor. You know, there was a book in the library last year. It just came out by this guy in England who did a research on hundreds of years how the Victorian age was totally gypsies, you know, transitant gypsies. Yeah, this whole homeless thing is not just now. This has been going on forever. This has been going on. This book, it was way beyond the. Yeah, it's always been that way. It's always been. There's always been people and the lack of empathy towards that. You know, that's attack evil forces, not the persons doing evil. Except, like, well, you know, that guy in Selma, that young man in Selma on that PBS special, said he got a hold of the camera was on him, and he used that minute to say, when they wouldn't let us sit at the table, so we're kicking the legs off the effing table. Yeah, you know, that's what's going on now, you know. And then we got a mayor. Thank God she's not going to be reelected, I hope. Who's only proud of the fact that she's against harm reduction. She's a pro-harm, you know, conscientious stupidity. It's avoid internal voices of the spirit as well as external physical violence. Avoid internal violence is the spirit of the spirit. Yeah, that calm, that equanimity of mind, peace of mind. That's one of those non-material gifts we get to take with us when we graduate from Earth School. Equanimity of empathy, forgiveness. Oh, that's a big one. Yeah, you know, neutralize all this bad energy. Oh God, it was like 40 years ago. I had just moved in here, I think. Yeah, and that was a while back. And this friend of mine who lives in Amsterdam now, we were in the mystery school together, and I was having a lot of trouble from the current manager of this building, which I am, but she's dead now. And she would smoke cigarettes in the hall, and I couldn't get her to stop. Leave her door open, and right when you quit smoking cigarettes, you don't want to be smelling it where you live. And long story short, I said to Joseph, yeah, I just boomerang that energy. She's sending me bad energy, and I just boomerang it and let it go back to her tenfold. And Joseph said, man, he made this face. Didn't you know? And he educated me on neutralizing. That's sort of like jumping off that wheel of Dharma, you know, instead of matching that energy and prolonging it. Just as soon as your bad energy comes to you, as soon as it hits your aura, it's neutralized. Wow, I could have had a V8. And that's going to piss them off more than anything, you know, because they're not going to get a rise at it. They're not going to get that they'll feel it. Their sensitivity will feel it. And then they'll go on to hate somebody else. Once you refuse to be a hook for someone to hang their shadow on, they'll find someone else. There's a lot of hooks out there for people that will, like recently this woman tried to hang her racist shadow on me. Said, well, Frank, what goes around comes around. Because I was celebrating, you know, I heard about the death of somebody that I saw he was in trouble. And just a nasty person. And I wasn't, of course, I'm a healer. I wasn't praying anybody ever dies. I just, you know, wanted to I'm just following my path, following my heart. And I said something about the Lord works in mysterious ways, and how happy I was that I could walk around the city and not have to worry about running into this nasty person anymore. And I was surprised because I've known this woman for a long, long time, over 40 years, and she snapped it. This her response to me was she just didn't get what I was saying. And I realized, wow, I'm glad. Anybody who knows me knows I do not celebrate anybody's passing. Well, if it's your time and it's right, it's God's will, yeah. But even anybody who knows me knows that I never ever ever let anybody a thought that would bring harm to anybody else. I just, like Dolly Parton said, I love my Dolly Parton quote. She said, if I don't like where you have it, I will tell you where you can put it. Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I will totally, say, was it, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, man. And then, as I said, John Lewis came one morning. Yeah, they come to visit me. I don't go looking for trouble. The spirits come to guide me. And I was very honored to have Senator John Lewis come to me and tell me to make necessary trouble. Because I was going to let that puppy go. Okay, and there was, so, as I said, being this is the last show out of this apartment, I've got a few things I wanted to just run down. Because as I said, I encourage you to, if you're fascinated with astrology as I am. Oh yeah, all this energy that's happening with the Pluto in Aquarius, because to me that's the big deal. Pluto's in Capricorn, backed up from 0 Aquarius to 29 Capricorn for the last time in a good almost 600 years after this. But we're going to enter the age of Aquarius on November 20th, 21st there. And that's the big deal now. Pluto's last transit in Capricorn since, it's had a lot of transits in retrograde Capricorn since '08 when it entered 0 Capricorn. But this one's, at 29 is the anorexic number. It's when all the yuck, the discharge, the pussy discharge, smelly, stinky, that needs to be purged, needs to be cauterized and flushed. This is all what's coming up now. We're going to hear some. You ain't heard anything yet. Wait until it's gonna be, all your worst nightmares are gonna be validated that we came this close to letting. Well, it's a rite of passage we went through. We all got a lesson in education now. Thank God now we're going to get it, hopefully with President Harris, we're going to bring back education so people will at least graduate high school knowing there's 3 bodies of the Congress, the Senate, and the presidency. And they don't even know that anymore. That's because George Bush and Cheney dumbed down America. They made Al Gore a laughing stock. So shame on them. Well, what's going on now? See, the Sol North Node and South Node. The Moon's nodes are all about the soul's evolvement. And then I said right now the North Node is Aries. It goes counterclockwise. And then it's going to switch in a few months from Aries, Libra, to Pisces, Virgo. But the Pluto stuff now is all happening right. Our North Node is 7 degrees Aquarius. So Pluto is right now between 27 Capricorn and our North Node of genius flashes. This is all that no one gets left out Aquarius stuff. And now, that's that South Node. And our North Node now, this is the final frontier. Forget about what NASA's telling you. This is the final frontier, is our heart. Unless we make the darkness light, we'll spend our entire life blaming fate for, so I realize we all have a Donald J. Trump inside of us. And we don't feed it. Like, which animal do you feed? The vicious wolf or the domestic little poodle? The one you feed. So I don't say we all have to be poodles, but let's really fight for listen to our hearts. Hearts are really just when you go to sleep at night. You're gonna go to sleep anyway. What's the big to do there? The big what you want to do? Surround yourself with the love and light of the Christ. I call it the Cristo Ray. And you allow your ascended masters, get the angels permission to work for you, ask for guidance, and then put your hand, stimulate your heart, and say, "I true to my own heart, I'll be true." And boom, 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 boom. Wake up, your problems are gone. Tough times don't last, tough people do. So that's really it. And so, but the other big thing, I'll repeat it again, is so important. It's going to be February of 2026 when Pluto's in Aquarius. Neptune will enter Aries, and then a few weeks later, in February of 2026, Saturn will enter Pisces. Leave Pisces and enter Aries. Once again, they'll go to that 29 degree, the anorexic degree, a few weeks before that, a month before that. Saturn is the structure of life, and Neptune is your spirituality. Oh, so, yeah, honey, yeah, we're almost done. So, yes, Gabby, your television career is just about over, honey. Yes, thank you. Gandhi said, many people, especially ignorant people, want to punish you for speaking the truth, for being correct, for being you. Never apologize for being correct or for being years ahead of your time. If you're right, you know it. Speak your mind, even if you are a minority of one. The truth is still the truth. I don't want to protect the environment. I want to create a world where the environment doesn't need protecting. Yeah, Exxon Mobil, they've been for decades now bull BSing us, and now we're paying the price. So climate change is underway. Let's hope we'll wake up now and start really doing everything we can to stop it. It can happen. Okay, and let's see what else we have. So, as I said, medicine is a science, healing is an art. Science is from the mind, art is from the heart. I want to bring back in Golden Gate Park the healing, the psychic fair they used to have. Psychic fairs. It was right around the rhododendron dell. No, it was behind the fuchsia dell, somewhere on that side of the park, Golden Gate Park. They would have. This beautiful shaded area, and they'd have at least a dozen psychics, and you could sit with them, and it was like I want them to come back. I want people to be aware of alternative healings, Reiki people, Reiki fairs. I want all of these start really saying no to doctors now. They're just glorified pill pushers now. I learned a long time ago during the AIDS epidemic when men would people were dropping like flies. Sometimes healing means you go, but at least you go, peaceably. And this one doctor looked at me. This shit-ass kid was like 36, and he said, I said something. Couldn't you have said anything to give him hope? And he snapped at me and he said, "We think it's cruel, Frank. We think it's cruel to give hope at this stage." And I just looked at him and I just said, "Frank, shh. Get out of here. They'll throw you out. Shh, be quiet now. You're dealing with a complete idiot." And I was going to say, wait until somebody you love got, in this position. Because the guy I was working on, I'll never forget it. When I was told he'd be dead in 2 months, he said, oh, I'm going on vacation for 2 months. He won't be here when we're back. They usually last a few days when we're at this stage. The nurses in intensive care knew what I was doing, They would sneak in like I was selling crack. Can you work on me? Can you work on me? But there's no healing done. They're death mills now. Hospitals are death mills. And I said, yeah, I met you 2 months ago. You told me my client would be dead would be gone within 2 days. Well, look, it's been 2 or 3 months. He's sitting there eating donuts, dunking them in coffee, watching TV. I said, until you went in, I don't know what you said to him. He said, well, I told him he was worse than, And yeah, his guy died a day later. You know, that's how powerful the mind is. You know, so as I said, my respect for the Western medicine. As I said, the future is a combination of East and West, but boy, they got the power now, and there's big money. And direct to consumer pharmaceutical ads has got to stop. Our brain, our mind is the most important vital organ we have, and just one ads, and they put these horrible ads on. Oh yeah, that's why I thought, being this is my last show out of this apartment, and hopefully when I get in the studio I'll be so busy doing readings I won't have time. This is Louise Hay. I was fortunate enough to meet her. The prime of Miss Jean Brody. No, the prime of Miss Louise Hay. I met her right when she was younger than I am now. I'll be 76 in a couple of weeks. But anyway, and I used to go to Fort Mason and pay $10, $15 and sit there with around 1,000 other people and listen to her, you know. And I love Louise. And these things now about shingles. Let's start with shingles. Boy, how about they start with these ads saying now that this is in you and it's just dying to come out. It's just dying to meet you. Yeah, okay. Gabby, please be quiet. Please, please, please. Tumors, nursing old hurts and shocks, building remorse. I lovingly release the past and turn my attention to this new day. All is well. You can't say these affirmations once or twice. Try 500 times, repeating the same affirmation over and over again. Write it down on post-its and stick them all over the place. Remind yourself. Toes. I've had trouble, broken toes. Represent the minor details of the future. All details take care of themselves. Okay, and then as I said, what she says about with shingles, shoulders are meant to carry joys, not burdens. Shingles, waiting for the other shoe to drop, fear and tension, too sensitive. So of course the advertising monsters are going to use that against you. They're going to use your sensitivity and your fear and tension to, which causes shingles, to give it to you, you know, so they can sell vaccines and medications. I am relaxed and peaceful because I trust the process of life. All is well in my world. From A to Z. Oh, eczema now. That's a big one. That's a big one because it's your skin. People don't feel comfortable in their own skin. Okay, so, Gabby, please, darling. Please, princess, hug a bug. That's enough. Eczema. Oh, eczema, edema. Breathtaking antagonism, mental eruptions, harmony and peace, love and joy surround me and indwell me. I am safe and secure. Breathtaking antagonism, mental eruptions. Anyway, eyes represent the capacity to see clearly, past, present, and future. I see clearly with love. Eye problems, not liking what you see in your world. I now create a life of love to look at. So that's it. As I said, those are just a couple of them. Your body speaks to you, okay? In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I accept health as the natural state of my being. I accept health as the natural state of my being. I now consciously release any mental patterns within me that could express in dis-ease in any way. I love and approve of myself. I love and approve of my body. Look in the mirror and say, I love it. Look at you. You're gorgeous. What if people look in the mirror and they scream about, look at that, another wrinkle. No, love your body. I feed it nourishing food and beverages, which is actually warfare now. Picking out a diet is political warfare these days. I exercise in ways that are fun. I recognize my body as a wondrous and magnificent machine, and I feel privileged to live in it. I love lots of energy, and all is well in my world. Once again, this is You Could Heal Your Life, Louise Hay. Take it, love it, read it, and have it in your medicine cabinet. And okay, and then I found these two little things. We only have a few more minutes left. And as I said, I won't have these books in the studio, so I figured I'd use this show today. Yes, my precious Gabby baby. Where are you? Oh boy, you're all the way up there. Look at you. Look at Gabby. Okay, what do we have here? Okay. Walking meditations, there's something you have to be quiet. You could just take a nice walk and meditate. Technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. Albert Einstein said that. Fear is the major ingredient for creating. The infinite ground of being is always there for us. Okay. You owe it to everyone you love to find pockets of tranquility in your busy world. Your body, respect your body as your vehicle for life. As long as you are here, live in it. Love and honor and cherish it. Treat it well, and it will serve you in kind. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt said that. You have the tools and the resources you need. What you do with them is up to you. That's what Swami Vivekananda said. You were supposed to ask for help. There is no better there than here. There's no better there than here. Here is where it's happening. Mars ain't no place to raise your kids. It is of immense importance to learn to laugh at ourselves. Growth is a process of experimentations, a series of trials, errors, and occasional victories. We failed experiments are as much as part of the process as the experiment that worked. If you nourish your soul by fulfilling your destiny, you nourish your soul by fulfilling your destiny. And then, let's see, let's pick a few cards for you all. Okay, there was something in here. Drag your thoughts away from your troubles by the ears, by the heels, or any other way you can manage it. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than anything on which it is poured. Well, then Donald Trump should be dead by now, for just by all the acid he's been pouring on his stomach. That's why, as I said, God wants him here. He wants him to lose the election so Jack Smith can persecute him and he can spend the rest of his natural life, I guess, in jail. I don't know. What's the when they find out you sold documents to our enemies, nuclear secrets. I mean, we're talking, Yeah, that's it, Gabby. Yeah. Universe is fair. It's Note to yourself, treat yourself the way you would treat a child. Feed yourself healthy foods. Make sure you spend time outside. Put yourself to bed early. Let yourself take naps. Don't stay mean. Don't say mean things to yourself. Don't put yourself in danger. The fate of humanity is entirely dependent upon its moral development. Only the insecure strive for security. That's a good one. Oh, okay, let's pick a few cards here. Oh, yeah, this is Dr. Seuss. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street. Oh, yeah, in San Francisco, no on 33. They keep on recycling these investors, man, who just have money on the brain, and you have to really read who you're voting for, because these propositions, like 33 is definitely a no. And these actors and actresses, they get these, people of color, women of color that are struggling with, single family, whatever, and they need the money, so they're taking these jobs. And of course, they're for these yeah, how. Yeah, so I know for sure no 133. I'm all about Daniel Laurie. Man, I think Daniel Laurie is an answered prayer. I hope to God he gets in. I'm gonna pick 7 cards for you. Oh, 6 cards. Excuse me. Excuse me, how rude. Okay, let's see. What do we got now? Okay, this is how you're feeling about yourself, what we want most right now, what we're collectively fearing, what's going on for us, what's going on against us, and the final outcome. Okay, here I have 6 cards on the table. Okay, so SF Commons. Uh, I'll be taping a show the late in the afternoon, uh, 2 Fridays from today, the 18th, I believe. I already mentioned that. Uh, and in the meantime, yeah, up to Friday the 18th, I'll be taping a live show and doing readings from the studio at 9th Street, the International Film Institute, and get in touch with Yvonne or Clayho at SF Commons and let them know how you could get a hold of me on the air. It'd be worth a call. Okay, we're grown up now. Yeah, this is how you grow up. You know, this is how we spiritually evolve. Yeah, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Yeah, we need a shopping spree. We need to be spend some money on good things now. We need to surround like we need to, you know, we've had to be frugal for way too long now. You know, it's what we're fearing now is having some money. You know, the middle class has been totally wiped out from Ronald Reagan, and hopefully now they'll start tearing now with when people get more light and that we'll start taking his name down from all these airports all over this country. What's going on for us is we're not alone. Oh, please, there's so many unemployed angels. What's it take? Angels, be with me now. What do you got to be afraid of? Work with your angels. They're your birthright. There's so many things you're entitled to. This you don't use them. Use them. That's what they're for. Okay, the world's just friends we haven't met yet. This is what we're fearing. The final outcome is we're all healers in different ways. You know, find out what your heart wants you to do, and then follow it unapologetically. Well, that's it. Gabby, say goodbye, honey. It's time to go. Say thank you, sweetheart. Say goodbye. Oh, there she is. Look at you up there. Look at that. Yeah, say goodbye. Say goodbye, honey. Okay, well, gotta go. I'll be next time you see me. Say goodbye to the apartment. It's been fun having you here the last couple of years. Goodbye. Say goodbye, Gary. Okay, then how do we shut this off? Oh, here we go. So long. Namaste. I love you. I love you. Remember that. Psychic Frank loves you.